Hey everyone, welcome to Saturday Night Popcorn. This is Jason.
And this is Kai, and we have another great discussion for you today. Saturday Night Popcorn is now focusing on short films, and today's short film is Bebe from 2024, directed by written and executive produced by Marquis Boone, and directed by Talia Breon. Yeah, so we'll get into it.
Bebe.
Yeah.
So we were like chatting about this like right when we started, and so this is an odd movie or like short film. But when's the last time you saw Bebe's Kids? I think most people have recollection of actually watching Bebe's Kids, but like
last time I saw it was maybe in college, maybe in the 2010s. Damn, it feels like a long time ago.
maybe before that, probably. Yeah. I think it was probably like, maybe single
early
digits
2000s?
in the early 2000s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's based on Robin Harris's comedy like bit about a lady, Bebe. And then it was transitioned to the animated show or movie that we all know from the 90s. Mm-hmm. And then now someone's reinterpretation of it is the short film, Bebe.
Of which they're like murderers and stuff, right?
Yeah. But like, as I was watching it and then reading some of the comments, you realize how messed up those kids' lives were.
Yeah.
So it's showing like the reality of like what these kids are dealing with, which I enjoyed about this short.
Yeah, I think it's like more like it's very sad. Yeah, because at first I remember like the first guy we meet, like he's in like that red kind of like sweater and mustache.
That's Robin Harris.
Yeah, so
or that's
like,
his like.
But that was his like I remember he has a character in the movie too, right? That's character. So, but like you kind of see him where it's like it's very dark and dingy and stuff, and it's like, and then like they have to drop off the kids. To Bebe and everything, and then you're like, oh,
like what is happening?
Real. And you're almost kind of like, you're like looking through it in his eyes, where it's like,
what are these kids? What's going on with these kids? What's up with this family?
And he has to go to the bar to drink off the fact that he left them there by themselves.
but I like this take. Like, I wish it could have been longer. I think if they had more, because this was 22 minutes, which was a nice length for a short. And they gave us some unique shots. They gave us some perspectives that weren't shown in the animated show or animated movie. So I like that, but I think this is one of the shorts that needed a longer duration to like really build on what they were trying to present.
Yeah, because you kind of like are left with like a lot of like questions of like, and you want more of the kids than more so of like Bebe. Even in Bebe's like kids,
it was mostly focused on the kids.
I don't think I don't remember ever seeing the
Bebe. Bebe was off doing her thing like she was doing in this one. Like.
Yeah, which is like it makes sense and everything, but this one it primarily focused on Bebe and stuff.
Because she's going through therapy and trying to figure her shit out,
and then doing everything else. That's
doing the most
and stuff, and then feeding them.
Cereal with water. Like it's crazy. Like, but I like that they show both perspectives. Like, hey, she's off doing whatever the hell she's doing, but which was very trauma based. Like something that she went through as a child that she never really worked through. So she's trying to find that love and affection with all these random men she's bringing home, and her kids are then seeing these people, and they don't understand what's going on. Then the kids are going through their own traumatic situations. And then they start murdering random dudes.
Which then, like, perpetuates everything, too.
Yeah.
Because, like, going and transitioning to, like, cinematography and stuff, like, you said that there was interesting shots. For me, I feel like it was it wasn't very interesting. I think the last shot of them, like the three kids standing there.
Oh, with the mist or the haze.
With the mist, and there was like sort of like a neon kind of like tinge to it. It was like a green purplish, and they were very still. It was like just like those like there
was like the quick cuts.
Yeah, the quick cuts and them kind of moving and stuff. I think that was the most unique shot throughout the whole thing for me.
Yeah.
But
I agree with that.
Yeah. Do you see anything else that like stands out to you?
Most of the shots are very static, but the shot of Robin Harris in the bar, or the character that was playing Robin Harris in the bar when he's taking his drink, it was a nice close up. And then they cut to the bartender when he says Bebe. And that like zoom in close up. Those two, and then the shot that you were talking about. The rest of it was kind of just like, all right, it's pretty basic.
I guess like going into color grading and stuff, like I'm kind of jumping around quite a bit, but like the color grading from when she's like sitting in the
The therapist office?
In the therapist office, it starts off like that, and it's kind of like a darker. There's like the light is coming from up top and everything. There's like a lot of shadows, but then it transitions to like when he's driving them around.
Everything's bright.
It was it was very jarring, but it kind of, I guess, it gives you the feeling of the animated. Like it was kind of like that bright kind of like.
But I thought it was gonna be more of that. Like the way outside of like the opening shot reminded me of Get Out. When
you have a lot of like
the little parallels.
Yeah, they have a lot of that.
So that reminded me of Get Out, but then once they cut to the kids with the best friend and Robin Harris, that threw off my like view of the short, because it was like, okay, this is dark, and then it cuts to the color, and they have that amusement park shot with the train going by, and then they have these close-ups of the car, and they're showcasing like the establishing shot of like, hey, this is where they are. But then the rest of the short isn't as unique in shots.
Yeah, it's just sort of, and then it goes back to that
the therapist
the more shadowy kind of like, and it stands out where it just seems odd. Where it could have been nice, where you have a little bit more kind of almost like if you think about it, what could have been nice, and this is like just like where you have like this. What was that Brian Reynolds movie that we watched where he was like a serial killer?
Oh.
But it was like a contrast where how he sees
when he's speaking with animals and stuff.
Yeah, and it's like very bright. It's voices, right?
Yeah, voices, yes.
It would have been nice to kind of see like what do the children see the world as.
Yeah, because the kids didn't say anything.
Yeah, the kids, like I feel like you have the best acting out of the kids.
Yeah.
Everyone else kind of sucks.
Yeah. Well, nobody really spoke except for Bebe. They would show the kids. They had the flashback of the daughter going through her, like the situation she had to go through. And then that was kind of it. The kids really didn't speak much.
Yeah. You had nothing, but I feel like you had so much of the like storytelling from those kids. Like just like the nonverbal kind of like storytelling where like you're like, oh crap, man, this like
the kids are going
this
through it.
For the kids.
Yes.
But in terms of story, like you were talking about, it would have been nice if they had a little bit more of an extended time, kind of like working this out.
Yeah.
So do you want to see more of this, or do you want to see like, all right, let's do like an hour of this? Or something?
Yeah, I guess it's more fleshed out, because the story wasn't bad. I like the perspective they took on the information that they have, like from Robin Harris's like bits and the original. I like that they did show the kids watching the original.
Yeah,
on TV. That was pretty cool. But I think if it was just more fleshed out and we got more dialogue from the kids, so we get the perspective of like what the kids are seeing through their eyes. Like, okay, we got another random dude at our house, and just have like a cut to the kids in their room being like, yo, mom's with another freaking dude?
Yeah, like them kind of like interacting with each other. Yeah. Because it's like, that was the whole thing about Bebe's kids, the animated thing. It was like, it was them kind of like trying to get use of the world and stuff and like interact with the world. They were horrible children
because of their circumstances.
Kind of like together, and they would kind of like interact with each other to then kind of like interact with the world. So yeah, that would have been nice. I feel like it's weird because like we see a lot of like they did Winnie the Pooh.
They just did a Peter Pan one.
Peter Pan, where like they have kind of like do this like horror aspect of something that you don't expect or like was never in your mind of like having a horror. But I think this one makes sense.
Yeah.
Where it's a totally real kind of where your mind can go when you watch that first, and then you start thinking out the rest of the plot, and you're like, oh, this totally does not turn into a nice ending. It turns into like this progressive kind of like world that happens, and it's like not very nice and colorful outside of that. So I think in terms of the story, it was very cool to like have someone that like probably watched Bebe's Kids like a long time ago and was like, oh, just randomly in their head they're like driving down the freeway and they like have this like
like this isn't actually a happy ending. Let me flip it on his head.
Yeah, I think this was like one of the more like plausible where like you're like picking at like shadows for Winnie the Pooh as
you're reaching on those.
Yeah, so it's like that one totally like you're already kind of like taken out of the thing because of that.
Like it feels so separate. Like to think of Winnie the Pooh as a serial killer is like so left field versus, hey, in Bebe, we saw what the kids went through, so let's give you the reality of that.
Yeah, which is a very plausible.
Yeah.
And it's very sad.
Very sad.
All right, Kai, you want to take us out?
Yeah, thanks for joining us for another episode of Saturday Night Popcorn. I'm Kai.
And I'm Jason, and we'll be back next week with another one.